Khadija.
And I'm Vanessa. And today we are bringing you the most current update of the water crisis in the Western Cape.
That is right. So we know that since 2013, South Africa has struggled with a decrease in the stored volumes of water. The last 3 years have also suffered from very low rainfall, which has only accelerated the process of this crisis. The years 2015 to 2017 have been titled as some of the years with the lowest amount of rainfall, which has also attributed to this great issue. However, not all is lost. Both locals and travelers together are working to find solutions to help conserve water.
The locals and the tourists have been taking current measures to help prevent Day Zero. Here are their stories.
Musikaze is getting ready for work as usual in Khayelitsha, the largest township on the outskirts of Cape Town. But for her employers, a family living in Cape Town's Tableview neighbourhood, life has dramatically changed over the last few months.
Do the dishes today and wash clothes.
Oh, yes.
And then get Taryn's room ready.
Okay.
Water restrictions imposed by the city authorities have forced families like the Porters to rethink their relationship with water.
So we stand in the shower in that basin there, and all the water goes in there. First of all, we wet ourselves. Meanwhile, we're switching off the shower all the time, right? So you soap yourself and switch off the shower, okay? And that's only a 2-minute shower. And then we take that water, and that grey water gets used to the toilets. That's why I've taken the top of the toilets off. We flush like that. And then we don't flush the toilet all the time. If it's yellow, we let it mellow, okay? That's what everybody's been saying. If it's brown, we flush it down because of the germs and stuff.
People across Cape Town have been rationed to 50 litres per person per day.
I'm washing my dishes here with this water. Then when I finish wash the dishes, I take this one to wipe the table on this side. Then she's going to take it to her garden.
Wow, that is really fascinating. As you know, there has been also great controversy between this issue. There's the question of whether who should have access to water and how much access to water each person should be able to have.
And you know there is a difference in experience between the wealthy and the poor when it comes to the water crisis, because the poor communities have been dealing with the shortage of water for decades now, while the wealthy have abundance of water. So this is something completely foreign to them. Check it
In a
out.
country still plagued by inequality, the crisis has been more obvious in rich areas than in poor. In the mostly black townships, inhabitants have been dealing with water scarcity for decades. Despite a quarter of citizens living in these townships, they are thought to use less than 4% of Cape Town's water.
Sometimes I come here 4 times a day. Because we are 6 and maybe we are 8. Sometimes we run out of water.
In this area, the water crisis has not affected them hugely. And the city talked about Day Zero and people will be having collection points, That is not new. So most people here, they've been collecting water from standpipes for years. Usually the taps are normally running free flow, but now since of the drought and the crisis, they reduce the pressure of the water. So sometimes it takes a long time to fill up a bucket.
We are 5 here, me and my husband and 3 children. It's only when we use washing, we use a lot of water. Because we don't have toilets, our toilet is there, or we have this toilet that not flush. It's been the same, we don't see anyone's changing. We just use water as usual.
And today we have Marissa joining us to further talk about this issue.
Thanks, Khadija, for having me on this segment so that I can discuss the short-term and long-term solutions for the water crisis. This being said, some short-term solutions are the enforcement of reduced showers and reduced household water usage. Another way that we can conserve water in the Western Cape is to only flush when necessary and to modify toilets to reduce the flushing volumes. We can also place buckets in the shower for runoff and underneath the drains to catch water for agricultural use. 2 long-term solutions that we've come up with to reduce water is the utilization of direct potable water reuse and gray water, and we can also utilize the desalinization of abundant seawater. This being said, we can bolster the filtration system so that the Western Cape can capitalize on its prime location and take full advantage of being so close to the ocean.
Thank you, Marissa. I'm Faith Yoga, reporting live from Capricorn Township. So as we all know, a portable reuse/gray water system is very efficient to making sure that we are not wasting, purified or filtered water. However, risk of contamination and the damaging of plants is very high. But in order to fix that, we can just implement a gray water system so no physical contact of the water is being made.
Okay, hi, so can you start by introducing yourself to the camera?
Yeah, my name is Charles Jansen. I reside in Capricorn. It's the same community where I work in, which is the same building I'm sitting in right now. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a couple questions about like the water crisis and Day Zero. So how do you feel like the government has responded to Day Zero? Like, do you feel like it has helped the townships enough?
So the government they responded by first of all by raising awareness. So when they discovered that South Africa or Western Cape has a water crisis, then they first of all they raised awareness, and then they put certain preventative measures in place by the amount of liters a person can use per day. Like not flushing every time you have to flush. So those were preventative measures were put in place, and the majority of the Western Cape had to basically follow those rules. With townships are concerned, because I live in a township where we don't pay rates and stuff like that. So what happened is that government lowered our water pressure. So like the water pressure of the Cape, it wasn't as high as it used to be. You know, I remember at home I could only do my laundry during the morning, because in the evening the water pressure would be lowered, and then so the machine couldn't work. But like the townships, you know, like Capricorn, we got the big end of our, if I would say so, you know, our water pressure still hasn't been put back to normal, although the crisis is now, Day Zero is now being averted, but yeah.
Do you feel like the government is taking the people in inner cities as a priority compared to those in townships?
Yeah, and it doesn't just happen here. You know, I think so. Like I say, because we don't pay rates as such, you know, we are not deemed first priority cases. You know, these people that live in Constantia, bishops, you know, those people actually pay for those rates. You know, services gets rendered quicker that side than what it does here in townships. You know, I remember when we would have like overflowing sewage. Like, you know, these you call it manholes, right?
Yeah.
So these manholes basically spilling up onto the streets, you know. It would take a couple of weeks, you know, for government to come in and respond. When it's in the cities, you know, I think the response will be much quicker. So yeah, I do think so.
Thank you so much, Faith, for that input on your solutions to the problems that can be faced with what Marissa proposed, and thank you so much, Marissa, for that. One thing that as a team at News 24 that we have thought about is like alternative solutions that can work out if, you know, those didn't work. One that we thought about as a team was the water blackout, where on a certain days of a week where we, you know, shut off all the water and limit ourselves to only certain times of the day where we use it. We've thought about how this will affect townships. We feel like for the townships that would be different, directed to them. But as far as the Western Cape, just implementing that water blackout would really help out with how much water is being used throughout the week. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week on News 24.